Today, we are looking at the interior of this 2025 Acura TLX Type S. So what does $59,000 get you on the inside? Let's go ahead and find out. This is the most expensive version of the TLX, so I will be holding a higher expectation to this model. On the door panel, you'll see soft touch plastic on the upper part, this faux aluminum with an interesting pattern also on the upper part, two-person memory seats, a metal speaker grill for the ELS Studio sound system, red leather on the armrest, some red stitching right here, and hard plastic down below. There's a Type S door sill right here, and the seats will be made of premium Moana leather and suede through the middle. There is also Type S in the headrest. These seats will be heated, ventilated, and 16-way power adjusting. You have a really nice steering wheel design on the inside. There's perforated leather, red stitching on the inner part, more aluminum accents, Type S branding right here, and real metal pedals. Surprisingly, there is no steering wheel heating, and this is manual adjusting. The gauge cluster is going to be completely digital, and that was new for 2024. So you're going to have a really nice design. This is the advanced layout, and it actually will change with the drive mode. Now, if you really don't like this advanced design, you can go to gauge layouts and change it to crafted. But I really do like advanced a lot more because it is unique to Acura. Now, this and the MDX are the only two Acura products that have this. If you ever wondered what other people are seeing on the outside of your car, you don't have to wonder anymore because the Acura TLX has you covered. There is a little car in the middle, and it shows everything that's happening outside. This is with the brake lights on, and when I'm not braking, they will turn off. Also, when I turn off the headlights on the little car in the middle will also turn off. As far as materials are concerned, you'll get this leatherette trim right up here, red stitching, gloss black through this middle area, some faux aluminum, and some matte plastic in the center console. Storage is better than I expected. You get two cup holders here, and when you open up the center console, there is also a pretty good amount of space with two USB ports and a 12-volt power outlet. There is also a wireless phone charger right here. The climate controls are completely physical, and I have to admit that the quality for them aren't the best. They are made of matte plastic, so that is probably the reason why. But for $59,000, I feel like they could do better. There's also heated and ventilated seats with an auto function. At 60 degrees, they're not really going to do anything, so just keep that in mind. If you are hoping to have the touchscreen in the 2025 Acura TLX Type S, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. This one still has the trackpad infotainment system, which I understand isn't everybody's favorite. But of course, I would be choosing the new touchscreen that's in the MDX. For right now, they increased the size from 10.9 inches to 12.3. But let me walk you through how the trackpad works. Acura calls this True Touch for a reason, and this is not like any other trackpad. So instead of having to swipe all over the place just to get to one corner of the touchscreen, let's say if you want navigation, you're just going to push the upper left corner of the touchscreen. That's going to bring up the navigation system. If you want to get to other apps, you're just going to swipe really fast, just like that. And there is a split screen, so you can just scroll like that. Now, I understand this is not everybody's favorite, but once you get used to it, I think you'll be just fine. Another thing that Acura includes is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Then you will have a real trackpad, not the True Touch system. Now let's talk about the backup camera. When you put it in reverse, that will bring up a very high resolution backup camera. And when you push this button on the side of the stock, that will bring up a front view and a wheel shot. Now let's see how the parking sensors work. I put my tripod right there for a reason. And once I start getting really close, it's going to pop up right here on the gauge cluster and make a noise, and it will pop up on the 360-degree backup camera. As I start to get closer, the pitch changes just a little bit when I get really close. and once I get closer, I will run it over, so I'm just going to leave it right here. Up top, you're going to find a control for your standard sunroof. Now let's see what the front passenger will get in an Acura TLX Type S. The door panel is mostly the same with the red leather and the faux aluminum trim. The Type S branded door sills will be illuminated for the driver and front passenger side, and these seats will be the same as the driver's side with the red leather, black piping and stitching, and the black suede through the middle. This also will have heating, ventilation, and 16 ways of power adjusting. If you're not driving, the front seat is definitely the place to sit. You have some nice materials in front of you like this black leatherette and red stitching, and you have your own personal storage cubby with the power outlets. The glove box is a pretty good size, and you don't have felt lining, which is fine, but you will have to worry about scratching the lenses on your sunglasses. The back seats aren't really going to be what you would expect out of a luxury midsize sedan, but let's go over all the things it has to offer. The door panel is basically the same with the red leather and the metal speaker grille, and you also get some black leather and red stitching. These seats are relatively comfortable, and they will be made of real red leather and black suede going through the middle. In the center area here, you won't have climate controls, but you will have 2 air vents and 2 USB-C ports. The TLX Type S owns the largest drive shaft hump I've ever seen, so good luck sticking somebody in the middle seats. And the seat back isn't plastic, so it's much easier to clean. The center console has always had 2 cup holders, but 2025 brought a new storage area which will be much more convenient. Overall, Acura gives you a pretty good amount of amenities for the second row, but the legroom and headroom situation is not good. I never thought I'd say this for a midsize sedan, but don't plan on putting people back here regularly. If you want to do that, maybe go look at one of the competitors or get an MDX Type S. Now let's see if the compromised backseat room will lead to more trunk space. To open up the trunk, there is a button on the right taillight, or you can use the key fob. And when you open up the trunk, that will lead to 13.5 cubic feet of trunk space. That is pretty good for the segment, not class-leading, but not bad at all. There is a cutout on both sides in case you have a wider item, and underneath the floor, you'll find just a little bit of underfloor storage. The second row can easily fold down for more trunk space, but there is chassis bracing which will result in better handling for the corners, but it will take up a little bit of that space. Obviously, the MDX Type S's 71 cubic foot trunk would be better for hauling large items.